Welcome to the Hazbin Hotel, a place built on radical ideas. Mainly just one. The fact that even the worst souls in hell might still have a chance to change. But redemption isn't as simple as it may seem. I mean, it isn't a single act or a quick apology, even though it does start with sorry. It's a long, painful process of self-awareness and just sees how much you can grow within the time of your stay. So what would it actually take for each resident of the hotel to actually get redeemed? Like, they're all chaotic figures, but what does it truly take to be redeemed? Let's just take a closer look at each of the characters. Charlie. She is the heart of the hotel. She believes redemption more than anyone, so it's hard to believe that she can't be. However, she is a Hellborn, so that does kind of stir things up a bit. Can Hellborn be redeemed? Short answer, no. However, because we obviously know that angels can fall because of Lucifer, then surely she is half human. So it does pose the question, can she or can she not? Hypothetically though, if she was to be redeemed, it would be that she would need to learn that she can't force the change onto others, and she would have to accept that some souls may never choose redemption, and that failure is just part of the process. But if she can't be redeemed, and we're just talking about getting to heaven, she could just set up a fully automated system that will work for as long as it needs to. And then once all of that is set up, she can maybe just ask heaven nicely to, I don't know, just stay up there. Who knows? I mean, especially considering Vaggie did fall, Vaggie can be redeemed too. It seems to be both ways, especially considering Serpentius can rise. But we don't actually know for certain if fallen angels can be redeemed. Which, again, poses the question, can Vaggie be redeemed? I mean, I get that she's loyal and deeply guarded, but if she can be redeemed, her redemption would come from letting go of control and fear. She struggles to trust others and resorts to aggression just to protect Charlie. To grow, Vaggie would need to confront her past fully, accept her vulnerabilities, and learn that protection, it just doesn't always mean fighting. It can mean trusting others to stand beside you. And if she can't, again, the same thing can be said for the way that Charlie could get to heaven. Because she's helped out the hotel so much, she can just ask to be with Charlie and to be, in heaven with her. Because she is angelic, so it kind of just, again, poses the question again. Will they allow them to, or will they not? So it is kind of a 50-50 with the both of them. It's really interesting to think about. However, there is one character in the entire show which does pose the question, how will they be redeemed? Angel Dust. He represents one of the most complex paths to any redemption. I mean, he's trapped in cycles of addiction, self-destruction, exploitation. His humor and charm just masks down the pain that he has deep inside. And for Anthony himself, redemption would mean breaking free from Valentino's control and the belief that he deserves his suffering. And, spoiler alert for Season 2, if you haven't watched it already, I suggest go to, but if you have watched it already, we do know that he ended up killing his father for some reason. Confronting that would also be a huge part in his redemption process, because we do know that it's personal for each of the characters. He obviously struggles with his addictions, but that could all be a result of his father. So we don't actually know. He just needs to learn his self-worth, set his boundaries, and just choose a path which just isn't dictated by the control that anyone has over him, like Valentino or his father. He just needs to learn and is dedicated to his survival. But surviving isn't enough, he needs to learn to live as well. But he can only do that by healing, which is really interesting. It's a great character design. And as we all know, it starts with sorry. He hasn't said sorry for anything yet, so as soon as I'm hoping season 3 we do get that, like, him just apologizing, maybe to Husk or to Charlie herself. I think that would be like a great, like, absolute cinema moment. I do really hope he is the one to be redeemed next. And it does seem like it's leaning that way. But who knows? Because honestly, I do think if he gets redeemed, Husk will be the one after that. Or maybe even Cherry would be next to redeemed. I don't actually know. It's kind of... it's anyone's ball game. But one person who's not getting redeemed next is definitely Alastor. He's the hardest case. I mean, he doesn't want redemption. He thrives on the chaos he causes. Strictly just entertainment value and the suffering of souls that you can just see around him. For example, like, the entire reason he's at the hotel is to, I don't know how he put it, just see the souls around him fail in a fiery pit of failure or something along the lines of that. For him, redemption would require something like monumental, like genuine empathy, like stopping smiling for like a couple of seconds, maybe a character he cares for or like pretends not to care for but does care for like dies, and then he stops smiling and realizes, oh damn, I actually cared for this person, and then like gets active revenge. I don't know who that would be. Maybe his mother, and we know that his mother's in heaven. So, and we know that Vox managed to somewhat get a broadcast up into heaven, and obviously the V's are still around. Maybe theoretically they could get up, like sneak up there somehow and kidnap his mother for some reason, and that would just cause him to snap and get redeemed himself. But for him to be fully redeemed, I think he would have to confront the reality of his actions, not as a game, but as the harm he causes. He'd have to feel the remorse and just choose to change without expecting anything in return. Whether, if that's even possible though, that's like a huge question to ask. Husk, however, is weighed down by his regret and apathy. Like, he's not cruel, he's just given up. Like, for him, it's just simple as rediscovering his purpose. He would need to face whatever has led him to his point, his addictions, his losses, and decide that his existence still has value. Sometimes redemption just isn't about being better, it's about deciding you're not beyond saving. And I've got a feeling, and this is just a theory, that he is going to get Angel Dust back from Valentino, and he's going to just work on his redemption, like Angel's redemption, and just somehow, as soon as Angel gets redeemed, he too will be redeemed because he has found his purpose, which was helping Angel. So that, I feel like that would be really beautiful to watch. One person who just isn't, I don't think will ever get redeemed, honestly, just gonna be in hell forever, is Nifty. Like, let's be honest, she's really complicated. Like, her obsessive tendencies and chaotic energy suggest a deeply fractured psyche. Like, redemption for her would be like, we don't actually understand her character in itself fully, so it's really difficult to say how she would be redeemed, but it would probably involve understanding why she clings on so tightly to like her control and perfection, like her little obsessions. She'd need to develop a sense of identity beyond her compulsions and away from Alastor. Which, now that I think about it, actually seems more likely now that Baxter is involved with the hotel, and obviously they've got a little thing going on, but that could just again be her clinging on to Baxter because obviously Alastor kind of didn't really awfully prove himself in season 2. Like, obviously at the end he kind of like popped off and turns out he was manipulating the whole time, but still it kind of just, season 2 just kind of made Alastor feel weak. So maybe her realizing her clinginess would be a huge part in the next steps. It's less about her morality and just more about stability and finding a healthier way to exist. And because Baxter is kind of like Serpentious, this is a huge segue into Cherry Bomb. Like, Cherry thrives on her chaos and rebellion. She doesn't take lightly to orders, and she only helped out the hotel to begin with because she just wanted to fight. But her bond with Angel just shows that she is capable of loyalty, but she resists anything that feels like restriction. In the song Addict, though, we do get a little bit of hints of lore with Arachnis, who is Angel's brother. And I do think that should be explored further, because that could also throw huge spanners in the work for it. Like, I don't know if she's obviously hurt him in the past or he's hurt her, which caused her to be this way, but it's still really interesting to like figure out, and it would be so cool to watch. But for her, just choosing not to hurt others even when she could, it's a powerful form of freedom, and obviously she only fell for Serpentius because they kind of fought each other and were hurting each other. Which isn't really a... I can't believe I'm going to be saying this. I don't really support their ship because it's not really a healthy way to display each other's love for each other. It's kind of the thing. I do hope to see her get settled down a bit and quiet down, and then when she does meet Serpentius again, kind of like shows him, like, she obviously still has feelings for him and the vice versa, but I hope that it kind of like shows each other that they are both different now, but they still somehow end up together. Now onto the V's actually. I've got two of the big ones in mind. Valentino is going to be really difficult to be redeemed because he's an abuser, he's a control freak, he just exploits everyone around him. I mean, it would be one of the most difficult things ever. Especially because he thinks he's so much more powerful now that he's like in control of like the V's and he's like the head face of it. It would just... he would have to take accountability for his actions, acknowledging the harm he's caused without excuses. He'd need to relinquish all power, which I don't think he's going to in any universe ever. Just genuinely respecting others isn't in his vocabulary, other than obviously Velvet. Like, especially season 2, I don't really think he respects Fox as much anymore. He can't... it is a tough one to say for Valentino because, let's be honest, his character just sucks. But he would have to seek to repair what has been broken. Obviously give Angel his soul back, because I've got a theory that souls who are under a soul contract just can't be redeemed. Which, obviously, Husk is under one, Angel's under one. Alastor was under one, but he's since broken that contract, so he can now be redeemed. So that, I think Nifty is probably under one as well. So the only characters who can really be redeemed in season 3 is going to be Alastor, which seems unlikely, and Baxter, which obviously Baxter is the most likely candidate because, again, Serpentius and him are really similar. Like, Baxter kind of feels like his replacement, and obviously Pentius was easily redeemed, so maybe Baxter might be as well. It's just really difficult to say, especially for Valentino. But I personally think the only way he can do it is if he starts fresh, completely leaves the V's, gets rid of all his soul contracts, and just joins the hotel fully. I don't understand how that would be the case, though, because he's just too, like, bent in his ways, I guess. But moving on from Valentino, Vox is obsessed. He's a narcissist. He's literally just only goal is to get influence and dominance. Even like when he had lost, he was just like, so how's my ratings? I mean, he measures his worth through his control over others, particularly through the media and his perception. I mean, he was head of a cult, so I don't really... the only way for him to be redeemed, he seems like the most likely candidate for season 3, I reckon. If he does genuinely want to change, I think he is the most likely candidate for season 3 to be redeemed, but I don't think he will be. I really don't think he will be. If he does join the hotel, it will be for some sort of like reason to help the V's to get his name and power back. His redemption would... it would again need to follow Val, letting go of that need for control, confronting all his insecurities, having a deep one-on-one with Alastor, which doesn't end up in a fight, which isn't going to happen, let's be honest. Come on. But the true growth would mean using his influence to uplift rather than manipulate. Like, that is also another path that could be going down, I reckon. Instead of using his power for controlling people, he could use it to help people. Maybe help the Pride Ring become a better place so that people can be redeemed more easily. However, redemption in Hazbin Hotel isn't about becoming perfect, it's about a choice. Every character stands at a crossroad between who they are and who they could become. Some are closer than others, some may never take that step, but the possibility, that's where it matters, because redemption isn't given, it's chosen. I can't speak today. Over and over again, it just needs to be a choice. And maybe that is the real question that Hazbin Hotel asks us. Not can they be redeemed, but would they choose to be? But thank you for watching today, and let me know in the comments below who you think is going to be redeemed next. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.